Hey everybody, this is Jessica Lynn of Jessica Lynn Original Studios at JessicaLynnOriginal.com, and today I thought we would do more of a crafting piece. So my kids, they love the Descendants, and you see that sign there right behind Mal? I thought it'd be really fun to try and create a paper version of that. So I went ahead and bought a frame from the Dollar Tree. Then what I did was I found this pattern. It's funny, I found this Maleficent pattern, and then I created the Long Live Evil, which is what they were spray painting, and all I did was use Canva and do a split. And then what I'm going to do is I printed all these off, and I'm going to scan them into my brother's ScanNCut, because what that'll do is we'll actually create a, let's call it a brother ScanNCut version of a die cut, if you will. And basically it will allow me to cut it out of vinyl, paper, whatever I want. It'll actually find that pattern by scanning it, and then that'll help us go ahead and actually get this all cut out. So there it all is, all scanned. Now right now it's processing. Takes a couple of seconds. Obviously the more detailed the project, the more time it will take to process. But once it's all set, you can actually go ahead and decide how you want to cut it. So I went ahead and I bought some green vinyl, and I thought what would be really fun was to go ahead and cut it out of that, because it's very shiny and it looks kind of like wet spray paint. At least that's what I kind of envisioned. And right now you can see I cut it out, and I'm using some transfer paper. And basically what I'm doing is I went through the process of cutting it out, and now we're going to go ahead and put it so that we can apply it to the actual design. So let's go ahead and just get this all pulled off, and then I'll show you in 1 second what it looks like. It's just, so there's the Live Evil, the exclamation point. So you can see that's what I just cut out, and now it's sitting over on my transfer paper. So now what I'm going to do is go back to the Brothers ScanNCut. We're going to trace Maleficent, have it find those lines. We'll save that as a pattern, and then we'll go ahead and cut it out. So think about it, if you had like die cuts, it would be like me putting the die cut on the paper and cutting it out that way. And I thought it'd be really fun to do something dark. So there's our Live Evil, which I think looks so great, kind of just sitting there waiting. The big trick is just to make sure that everything is going to fit ahead of time, which is one of the things I love about the Brothers ScanNCut. You can go in and actually scale it. So for example, I think the frame that I bought here, this is going to be a 5x7. So with that being said, I had to scale it down so that it would fit perfectly. You know, I didn't want her too big or too small. I'm going to use that as the background paper. Super cute. There's our frame. 5x7, again, Dollar Tree, right? And the reason I'm making this is because my kids love the Descendants, and I thought, how fun would that be to make something fun for them that they can put up on their wall that isn't just like a picture of the characters, but something just a little more. And I surprise, I've already given it to them and they love it. So it's super easy to do, and I love thinking outside of the box when you're creating things. You know, like, you don't have to, you know, have just a literal picture of like Spider-Man or of Maleficent or of any of the characters from the Descendants. You can create things that are essence of, that sort of inspire, and I think those projects, especially for the kids, are even more meaningful because it helps them get a better sense of art and art creation. One of the things that I've definitely had some issues with the Brothers ScanNCut, which is so minor, is the stickiness of the mats. Either they're too sticky or not sticky enough. And so honestly what I found is that if you just get the little tape it on around away from, it works really well and holds it where it needs to be. If you don't put enough tape though, I'll tell you that does not hold well. So just make sure that the paper that you're going to have it cut is secure enough. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut out Maleficent. So we'll go ahead and send that through. And again, this is all about paper piecing and building this up. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to cut that out. Click that start. This is my favorite part. It's when the machine just starts randomly cutting things into the paper and then it turns into something amazing. Like that. I think it's kind of like sewing, you know, you cut a whole bunch of pieces of fabric out that look like nothing and all of a sudden it comes together and you've got a beautiful dress or a coat or a sweater or something. Or a shirt or something fun for the kids. Alright, so here she comes. There we go. She's almost done. You can kind of see her outline. There we go. Now watch this. This is so cool. And look at how beautiful and clean those edges are. Gorgeous. So we're just going to take that black paper off, get rid of it, or sometimes what I'll do is I'll put it in, I have a little scrap bin, and I leave that off on the side, and then I'm able to use that again later. So, you know, you might need a little piece of this or that, whatever. Now we're going to cut this Halloween. You can see I already cut that weird, fun purple Halloween paper the same size as the picture frame, so that's our full backing. And then we're going to go ahead and let's start putting pieces together just so we can kind of see how it looks. Alright, that looks good. And we are going to go ahead. Now see, obviously we had looked at the other side, but I was like, no way. No way. The purple is completely that. It almost looks like some sort of magical spell. And what I thought would be really fun was to put her on foam risers so that she pops up off the page just a little bit, just so she's a little three-dimensional. And when you hang it on the wall, it'll have a really nice shadow. After applying the vinyl, you want to just take your time, and that's the one thing I really like about the transfer paper. You can see exactly where it's going. One of the ideas I had was to maybe even put that vinyl on the outside of the frame, but I started thinking about it being in a kid's room, and I realized they might pick that off or something, and I didn't want it wrecked. So you can see that's all on there, and again, it looks a little spray painted, which I think is fun because we're mixing medias. So it's not all just flat paper. Now let me just show you how cool this looks. And again, I'm just making sure all the letters are pressed down, making sure that it's not going anywhere. There we go, we're just cleaning up a little. How cool. And it's really bold, and it doesn't glow in the dark, but I thought about it afterwards, how that could have been really fun too. Now, after we started to kind of put this together, I realized what could be really fun was to cut her out of vinyl, so the Maleficent, and maybe stack it almost like a shadow. So I thought that'd be really fun just to pop the green out just a little more, because with the purple and black background and then her being black, it needed just something else, just a little bit more. This is really cool. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the project, is when you go through and you make changes and adjustments on the fly. And I think this is going to be a great one. I think this looks so awesome, like the little shadow of the green underneath. And when you hang it on the wall, that is going to just pop. So we're going to go ahead and start assembling. And the big thing is we just want to make sure that we do it as clean as possible, because the goal is once it's put together, we're not going to do it again, right? It's going to stay. And I think this is, see that, just that green at the bottom, just a little bit extra. So let's go ahead, we'll assemble this, we'll take a look at it at the end. Now, adding in the foam risers is really going to kind of add in that finishing touch. It's going to go ahead and make her a little more three-dimensional. It's going to bring the whole project up a little bit. And it's going to also give it a really fun shadow when you hang it up on the wall. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. I love this. Now, my background, I could have made it look more like spray paint, which would have made it look more like the one in the movie, but I really like what we did here, because it's all mal colors, which are the purple and the green. And let's go ahead and frame this up. This is going to look great. I'm really excited to see how this looks. All right, let's flip this over. Just close these down. And again, remember the frame was from a Dollar Tree, so if it's on the kid's wall and it gets broken, just replace it. It's not a horrible loss. Oh, I love this. This looks so good. I can tell you we do have it up in her room, and she loves it. It's one of her favorite pieces, and she jokes that, Mom crafted that just for me. So I hope that I inspired you to go and try something a little different than the normal card making or scrapbooking. Again, I just want to take a moment and say thank you so much for watching. We are on day number 18 of 2020. Don't forget to go visit our website, JessicaLynnOriginal, and I would love to have you subscribe. We are working toward another 200 subscribers, so please go ahead and do that today. Take care, everybody.